I'm finally finished with the edit of Ghosts Horizon. Welcome back to Writer's Theory. I'm James Winterthorn, and I have been working for months now to get this novel edited. I know they say editing is a majority of the work that goes into preparing a novel or a story for, for publication in this instance. And that has certainly been my scenario here. And I had great tools to help me along the way. I did learn how to use those tools as I was going through the editing process. But I did get to a good spot. And even with that learning curve using AI tools, things like that, it was still significantly more efficient than it was when we edited Chords of Fate. But Ghost Horizon is completely edited. I think I was getting to a point where I was overcorrecting. And I think I found all the errors. Let's hope so. So for this video, I have 2 clips to share, just the wrapping up the last sessions of the editing. So let's go ahead and get into those. So this first portion, and what I had decided to do, before, when I first started this step of the process, I figured that entering half a page into ChatGPT was the perfect amount. But the problem with ChatGPT is that it's going to give you a result, whether that's appropriate or not. It will provide one for you. So I could do this indefinitely, and it would constantly give me changes to make, which is a little on the frustrating side, because it's very clean already. And here it is, like, here, make these 18 corrections on this page. So what if I get, when it's this clean, I think a page is the appropriate amount to ask it for, and that's what I ended up doing, and that sped the process along pretty significantly. But it was really just came down to adding punctuation here and there. I really found very few mistakes. What we're watching here is I'm doing one last run through of the changes I got back from my wife, and she provided those in a PDF. And so I'm going through and just making sure I caught all of those changes to make. And so this is more of a double check, which of course I did find some strike throughs that I had missed. So this was a worthwhile step as well. But this is the last portion here. And then I, of course, have another segment after this clip. But just going through, double checking that I caught all the changes I needed to make. And I, of course, did find some, but they were minimal. So at this phase, I am finding a couple errors here and there. But this is that point where you painted the picture, and now the more you go back and touch it up, the more imprecise it becomes, the more washed it becomes. It starts to lose the quality and the nature of the writing that I had put in the first place. I think I'm reaching like an overcorrection point. So I really just want to find errors. I don't want to sanitize the language too much, and I think that's the point of what's happening here. So I definitely want to retain my voice in all of this and not have it be over edited, and just make sure that there's no misspellings, that the punctuation is correct, that the grammar is appropriate where it needs to be. And really, like, I'm so close to finishing this edit. So let's watch the last clip that I have to share on editing. It's hard. It's weird to think that this might be the last editing clip that I'll share in a long while. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. So yeah, it's really just more strike throughs here or there. And like I said, making sure that I captured everything that I wanted to before. And then once this phase is done, I move into just running through what Word suggests for any mistakes, specifically spelling errors, is what I end up doing here in a moment. But yeah, my wife did a lot of research to make sure that some of the terms I was using were period appropriate. So when I wrote this, of course, a lot of these things I wrote with an understanding that of how things were, or how things are today when it comes to like firearms and things like that. But some things were rapidly changing at the time, especially firearm technology. And so I was using very modern terms for things that didn't exist on scale and in the context of the story. So she did a great job finding those things for me. So this is the spelling check. You can see much of this stuff is going to be, it's going to find any Spanish, flag it, because it's set to English. The wood line, tree line did change that, but most of the things are either dialogue or in Spanish. That's it. I am done editing Ghosts Horizon. This has been quite the journey. It took a lot of patience and perseverance to get through this. Probably came out to about an hour a day. Let's see. So I would have started writing this in October and finished December-ish. And here we are in the middle of June. So yeah, it's about 3 months to write it and about 6 months to edit the book. I'm very pleased with where it's at, and I really can't wait to share it with everybody. And that's only getting closer and closer now. The next steps in this process is I'm going to go to Amazon and to the KDP website and get some specifications for how to format this book for upload. So that is what I'll start working on next. We formatted Chords of Fate to an extent. I used BookBaby for Chords of Fate, so I just needed to get it to what their specification was, and then they took it to print. So there'll be some steps here that I'm not terribly familiar with, but in this day and age, with all the technology and all the aids we have, I don't anticipate any issues getting the book formatted, and I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it in a 6x9 format, which is the size of the book that I will create. That's what I have to share for today. Very excited to finish this step. This is a huge milestone. And now we're off to getting it ready for publication. So if you enjoyed this journey that I've been on for writing and editing this book, and you would like to continue to follow my journeys of publishing this book, this isn't the last step for sure, or you would like other writing related content, well, please like and subscribe. I'm going to get to editing this book, and I'll see you in the next video.